So, something pretty major is happening in the world of diplomacy right now. It didn't start with a big announcement or a fiery speech, but with a single, very quiet, very calculated move. Today, we're breaking down a sovereign message from Algeria to the UAE, and it's one that could seriously shake up relationships across the entire region.
And this quote right here is the key to all of it. You have to understand, what we're watching unfold is so much bigger than it looks on the surface. This isn't some minor spat you can smooth over with a press release or a quick phone call. No, this is a fundamental shift.
So, what was the move? This. Algeria's state news agency just announced they were canceling the agreement that governs flights between the two countries. I know, it sounds almost boring, right? Like a piece of administrative paperwork, but trust me, it's anything but.
And that's the real question, isn't it? What's the big deal about a flight agreement? To get it, we have to look past the logistics of airplanes and start speaking the language of international politics.
Okay, so let's peel back the first layer here. This decision wasn't about flights. Not really. It was a deliberate political message, using a seemingly boring administrative tool to send a signal that is incredibly loud and clear. So what exactly is an air services agreement? Well, think of it as the official rulebook. It's the legal framework that allows airlines from Algeria and the UAE to fly between the two countries. It's the bedrock for all commercial air travel. Sounds simple enough?
But it's not simple. In the world of diplomacy, canceling this agreement is like taking a bulldozer to the foundation of the relationship. It doesn't just mess with flight schedules. It signals that you want to tear everything down and redefine the entire relationship from zero. It's a way of saying the old rules no longer apply.
All right, which brings us to the most important question. Why now? What pushed years of tension to a breaking point right now? The answer isn't just one thing. The answer is accumulation. This wasn't a snap decision. Think of it like a slow burn. For a long time, Algeria was watching, taking notes, and sending signals, both directly and indirectly. This was the result of a long list of grievances finally boiling over. And here's the turning point. This is when the entire game changed. For Algeria, the moment a political disagreement started to look like a direct threat to its national unity, to its internal stability, well, that's when patience just completely ran out.
So what was this threat? What was the red line that finally got crossed? Well, it all comes down to a specific internal movement and some very serious allegations of foreign support.
At the very heart of this crisis is a group known as the Make Movement. Now, from the Algerian state's point of view, this is a separatist organization trying to break the country apart. The problem for them wasn't just that the movement exists, but a growing belief about where it was getting its support. And to really get why this is such a massive deal, you just have to compare it to past disagreements. A few years ago, the UAE supported Morocco's stance on Western Sahara, which goes against Algeria's position. How did Algeria react? With a bit of diplomatic coldness, but that was it. This, however, is a whole different ballgame. Supporting an internal separatist group isn't seen as just a policy disagreement. It's viewed as a direct attack on national sovereignty, and that is an unforgivable red line. And make no mistake, this isn't just a story about two countries. This decision is already sending ripples across the region, and it might just be the start of a much bigger shift. See, there were a few other things bubbling under the surface. There were reports of dissatisfaction with the UAE ambassador's activities. Then you saw these sharp media reports popping up, which, let's be honest, is often how you prepare the public for a big move. It also just fits Algeria's style. They're known for quiet diplomacy. They don't make a lot of noise, but when they move with action. And maybe most importantly, they're not the only ones. Other nations in the region have also started to get fed up with outside interference. So where does all this go from here? Because canceling that flight agreement, that wasn't the end of the story. That was just the opening move. I mean, really, all possibilities are on the table now. Could this lead to a complete severing of diplomatic relations? Could we see things escalate on the economic front? Or will some regional players step in and try to calm things down? The future is uncertain, but what is absolutely certain is that Algeria has made its sovereign choice. And this really brings us to the final thought, which grounds this whole thing in Algeria's deep, powerful history. This move isn't just a political tactic. It's a stark reminder. A reminder that a nation that paid such an unbelievable price for its independence, well, it's a nation that won't be blackmailed, won't be divided, and whose nerves will not be tested. What started with a canceled flight agreement is far from over, and the next few days are going to be very, very telling.